Hi everybody, today I'm solving the problem with the fifth gear on the 085 gearbox Volkswagen, which is common for Lupo 3L, Audi A2 3L, and also I think Polo 6N1, probably 6N2, and also Lupo 1.7 liter diesel. So the issue was that the car didn't want to engage fifth gear. Everything seems to work okay after the checking of shifting hydraulics and making some overhaul. Still the same problem persisted. So I decided, just because fifth gear is underneath this cover here, I just decided to remove this cover, drain the gearbox oil and clean it a little bit. And what I have discovered, this cogwheel, which should fit like this. There is some mark, and you can see there is some clearance, which basically should not be this big, but it is not so bad to not engage the fifth gear. So I have dismantled it a little bit more, and this shifting fork, which is visible from this side, showed seemingly no signs of wear, but when I turn it on the opposite side, I will try to make some better light. You can see that this is completely worn up to the half of its thickness. The same is here. There should be some coating, or not coating, but hardening of this steel. I don't understand the metal works, so probably somebody will know which type of hardening is this. It is matte color, just like here, but seemingly it's completely worn. So this caused that when I wanted to engage the fifth gear, it did not push this stuff which I showed you previously. Didn't take it as deeply or as far to reach these cogs. I will show you. This is some kind of leading sleeve. I am sorry for technical English, for my poor technical English, but this is some leading sleeve. Around this slides this sleeve. It is also a little bit worn, you can see in here, but this is definitely not so bad to cause some. Probably now it is perfectly visible in here. You can see it clearly. So this is leading sleeve. There is synchronizer. It is this brass part. I hope the brass is the right material. And finally it should slip over the synchronizer up to these dents, these tooths or cogs. I don't know, just I will be grateful for teaching the technical English for these for these ones. So this is not complicated repair. It only needs to drain the gearbox oil. Of course, this is cleaned. I have decided to check also the play in the probably intermediate shaft. I hope this is primary shaft, this is secondary shaft, aka you know, I have already told it, secondary or intermediate shaft probably. Correct me if I'm wrong. So the process is very simple. After dismantling of these two parts, basically only two parts are needed to remove, this and this. You can take into your hand it like this and pull it in and out. This is play, which indicates the wear of the inner bearing, not this one here, but on the opposite side of this shaft. And this is critical for those gearboxes, just because where the play is very extensive, it causes disintegration of the bearing on the opposite side. It is some kind of conical bearing, and it basically grinds into the wall of the gearbox, and also grinds out the cage, the bearing cage. And as you might expect, the bearing cage, if disintegrates, the bearing will suddenly disintegrate. It shoots, or it gives all its rollers into the gearbox, and basically 9 of 10 gearboxes, when this happens during drive, you cannot save the gearbox just because it shoots these hardened metal stuff into the fourth and third gears, and usually it finishes with the completely disintegrated gearbox. So I have discovered that this, I will try to not to move camera like this, and you can see it is also important to engage the neutral gear, which I have or have not, which I already have. So, and also before checking of this, just move the wheel hub a little bit back and forth to release any tension applied to this shaft one against another. So it is very rough estimation, but I can tell that probably half of the millimeter you must push this against this finger against these two fingers, just because there is another play between the shaft and this leading wheel. So to eliminate it, you should press this against it and move the shaft axially. You can clearly see there is some 2 or probably 3 millimeters. Hard to estimate. Probably better will be use the measuring tool, fit it into the onto gearbox casing, and measure it exactly. On the new gearbox it should be close to 0, half of the millimeter. I think it's it's around half millimeter is recommended from the factory. I'm still moving the camera, so it is not visible perfectly. Probably now. And this play is caused by that bearing on the opposite side, mostly. Not every time, but 90% or 99% is caused by the bearing on the opposite side. Just because this bearing here, right underneath here, is looped with because there is some lubrication channel which enters somewhere in here. It is covered by this wheel, so it is not visible now, but those two bearings are not the major issue. So just because this car is mine and it is not visible, but probably there is -5 or -10 degrees Celsius now, and I just have no capacity for solving my car, solving all the problems on my cars. So I have decided to clean the gearbox by the means of the compressed air, combination of compressed air and injecting petrol into these holes that goes straight through. Just basically a little bit clean the inside of the gearbox and prepare it probably for the new oil and to keep it as clean as possible. So what can we estimate finally? Half of the millimeter is recommended, probably 1 or 2 millimeters are acceptable, 3 millimeters are on the edge, and 4 millimeters, as far as I have experienced, 4 millimeters and higher you need to remove gearbox immediately, not to drive the car, and replace that bearing, and probably also preventively weld the third and fourth gear shifting fork as a prevention to not to break down. So the fix will be that I will probably find a little bit less worn this slip ring, or I don't know that term. You can see that there is some wear, not major, but this can cause difficulties. Also I will apply new fork, but not new, but not worn absolutely, which I have in my stock piles. And what to do with this probably borderline play? I thought about it for a while, and nothing better than to apply, I'm sorry, this oil, not winter grade, only summer grade oil, which is, I hope it will be in the liquid form in these temperatures. Probably I will use 1 liter of this very viscose oil. It is you can see API GL5, which is not recommended into this gearbox. It is I'm sorry, for hypoid gears, which is not present in this car, of course. But I think when I mix, it is almost in the form of grease. I will check how it flows. Probably it will be needed to heat it up before filling into the gearbox, but there is no better solution to fix it until the spring will come and I will have time and temperatures and weather to make the gearbox out and replace it. So probably when I'm touching this, it's almost it barely flows inside. So probably I will make a mix, 1 liter of this and 2 liters of ordinary I don't know, 80W 90 APIC GL4 oil. So some reasonable mixture to be able to work gearbox to work in -20, which was yesterday through the night, and it will partially eliminate this play with the thicker oil layer. So this is it. Pretty simple to make it. I hope I didn't forget some important stuff. Keep asking if you have some question about these gearboxes. It is 085 gearbox series, which is, as I said, applied around many cars, and important is for Lupo 3L to keep it in best condition as possible, just because the gear ratios are unique on this car, and it is almost impossible to get fourth gear which disintegrates as a first. So I hope it will be helpful. Probably I will show you how it looks like in here. Nothing special. Probably I will check the reverse gear switch. I will do it now. If I will manage to disconnect this connector in. Yes, it is black, which indicates that it is not my favorite aftermarket. My favorite aftermarket is gray, not gray, but brown colored. This connector is brown colored, and it is Fabi Bilstein brand. So I will replace this as a prevention also, to prevent reverse gear problems. I will left it disconnected when the oil is already drained, and probably this is everything for today. So have a nice day. Drive your car, drive your 3-liter cars, and have a nice day. Ciao.